It ain't health food, but sure looks good. Whatever. Anyway, hi, welcome to my channel. Chaos in the Kitchen. That's not the name of the channel, that's just what's happening right now. I've got this brisket. I got like a 20-pound brisket, and I divided it up 3 ways, and then this is the last kind of butt of it. So I've cut off some of the main fattiness in it. I've seasoned it with salt and pepper. I'm going to do some chili powder, and then we're going to brown it here in the pan with a little bit of oil. And I've got some onions going, caramelized onions. But I realized in my recipe that I use, I need to cook the brisket for like an hour and a half in the oven before I can put the onions on anyway. And that gives me time to cook the onions because caramelized onions take like an hour or more to cook. These have been boiling for a good 30 minutes and it's still just going away. And I've got some time lapse that we'll get to look at it later. I'm going to use a little rice bran oil, and then we're going to brown this up. I've got some beef stock here, which is some better than bouillon that I've mixed into some filtered water, and that's going to be the base of it. The recipe I have, it's a Passover recipe. Good for the day after Rosh Hashanah, right? I do chili powder, maybe I'll do some barbecue sauce or something like that, just to give it that kind of sweet, tangy vibe. So there will come a point when this is in the oven. I'm just going to be stirring the caramelized onions. And you're going to get to see time lapse of that because I am not filming through stirring infinite amount of time. The secret to a brisket is cooking time. Low heat, long time. You can use a crock pot, you can use an oven. I'm going to use an oven at about 300. It's going to have a liquid in it, so it's going to be a braise, which means limited liquid. Braise uses less liquid and kind of an ambient heat to cook it and break down the fibers and get you that very briskety thing. Brown the brisket, both sides. Put the beef stock in, cook it for an hour, then we'll have caramelized onions by that time. We'll take some of those out, put it over the top with some chili sauce or barbecue sauce or ketchup and chili powder. I'll make something. It'll work. It'll be great. And then leave it for another 2 or 3 hours. Get some color, some caramelization on it, plenty of salt and pepper. Doing great. I'm gonna do a little chili powder now, so it sneaks in, and I'll do a little chipotle as well. I want to pour in my braising liquid and I don't want to get burned. Chipotle powder. Yeah, I just basically pepper sprayed the house. Not salty enough. Okay. Tight seal. Throw this in the oven. We're gonna come back to it in like an hour. And then what we'll do is we'll take the caramelized onions, and then we'll put those on it with the chili sauce, ketchup, or whatever it is I decide to use, and then let it cook for another 2-3 hours. And then boom, you're gonna have brisket that just falls apart. Hopefully enough that you can cut it and it doesn't just melt. It's gonna be great. It'll go on sandwiches, probably just make some little brioche buns, barbecue sauce, pickles, flippin' awesome. Anyway, stay tuned. I'm gonna disappear now. Okay. All right, we're back. So as you can see, the pot of onions is now down to the bare nubbins. It's turned caramely colored, and I am stirring constantly because if I stop, it's just gonna burn. So this is caramelized onions. I have been at this for about an hour and a half. Fire's off. We're gonna keep it going, keep it moving around for a few minutes, get some of this heat to dissipate out of the pan. So this takes a long time, but it makes a lot. So I'm gonna use some of them I'm gonna use some of this to put on top of the brisket right now, in fact. And then I'm gonna use, I didn't find any chili sauce, I'm gonna use barbecue sauce. This is Bullseye. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at this. It's looking pretty good. Get a closer look. Try not to dump the can. That looks pretty good, right? I mean, I'd eat it, and I'm gonna. Okay, so right now it's been browned on both sides. It's been cooked for about an hour in the oven at 300, just over 300 degrees. It's still going to be tough as nails, so this is not relaxed at all. This has an expiration date of yesterday, so taking our chances. So we're gonna do barbecue sauce liberally. And then we're gonna do caramelized onions on top of that. Just gonna push it off. And then we're gonna take that and put it back in the oven for, I'm probably gonna do 3 hours, and that'll make it super tender. We cut it thin, pile it onto a brioche bread, like I said before, a little more barbecue sauce, and it's damn good. Let's see you back here in like 3 hours. Stay tuned. Okay. It's been 3 hours. I want to take it out, want to check it, and see how we are. I'm in the middle of a treadmill workout, so if I seem a little dewy, it's because I am. I hear it sizzling. Yeah, we're good. We're totally good. So let's see where we're at. Okay, that's a brisket. And I'm willing to bet if I take this and try and grab it, I might be in for some trouble. Grab my honking metal spatula here. Get under it. Let it drip. Yeah, it's all jiggly. And this is fat and onion and fat. Probably some barbecue sauce in there. Wonder what it tastes like. What do you think it tastes like? Probably tastes like salt. So it's very fatty. This has been 300 degrees, so. If it wasn't 100 degrees outside, this would make like a delicious base for a soup. It's got a lot of fat, but it's like really warming. Yeah, so look how jiggly it is. Got a little crusty bit right here from touching the top of the pan. Hot. Caramelized onion, this is amazing. Okay, so it's super tender. It's got the caramelized onion is delicious. It adds a lot of sweetness to it. I'm gonna grab some barbecue sauce. I'm gonna grab a brioche bun, take a few slices. I'm gonna make my kid a sandwich. Okay, going with pickles, going with Kinder barbecue sauce. I'm gonna try using my boning knife because it's a little sharper. Yeah, so if I cooked it any longer, this wouldn't be any good. Let's make a sandwich. Brioche bun. So, a little here, a little here. And you take that caramelized onion, you put it on there. Okay. Chopsticks. I think that looks good. I think that looks serviceable. It ain't health food, but sure looks good. I'll be right back. We're gonna need napkins. Okay, voila. That's brisket. That's 3 hours. That's it. Like and subscribe. Hopefully you'll find some time on a weekend to sit down and make this Passover brisket for Rosh Hashanah any day of the week. I don't know how any of that works, but yeah, it's a delicious, flavorful cut of meat, and this is the way to cook it. 300 degrees in the oven, low and slow, and it will now fall apart and melt in your mouth. I'm glad you tuned in. I'm glad you're still watching. If you're still watching, you're a real pro at this. You can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. Thanks for coming. I'll see you next time.